I went into my closet looking for a t-shirt, and I was going to get my Rockstar Pink Floyd t-shirt, or maybe one of my sports team old t-shirts. Instead, I saw this t-shirt, and I didn't put it on because it's been hanging for 4 years and it smells a little bit like, you know, it's hanging in the closet. But this is an awesome t-shirt because this is 4 years ago. This is from a build, some of you remember, October 24th, 2015. And Corey designed this t-shirt, and I think we put a little poll in the office, and this is where we really started messaging what we were doing, and it was a little bold. You know, who are we to say stop talking, start doing? But thanks to Corey, we did. And then that was a tough year though, and a lot's happened since then. About a year later, I remember Karen Inman was getting ready to come to Antis, and I went and spoke. My first time I spoke, and I was so scared. I was in a panel. I didn't do that well because I had run-on sentences. I actually passed on a question, didn't understand it. But there was people that were waiting to talk to me, and one of them was Susan Kenny. Susan Kenny is the business development for Orange County Ronald McDonald House, and she was attracted to our message. She found out that I had premature kids and I had a brush with Ronald McDonald House, and she came over to solicit us. All this is happening right then. The other thing that was happening right then is the roofing industry was getting introduced to Antis. I had gone back wanting to meet the purposeful people because I was fed up not finding them, and I ran into Bill Good. Well, Bill Good came to me around this time and he said, Charles, you've lifted your face by the philanthropy you do. How can we lift the roofing industry? Because 3 out of 5 businesses are failing. Nobody stays where they work. What can we do? And I said, I know, let's donate to Habitat Roofs. And he said, no, we can't. That's $1 billion of the roofing. We can't do it. And I said, let's do Movember. And he didn't even know what I was talking about. But Corey was here. One day, a few months later, we're in that room with Susan Kenny. Corey, Susan Kenny, and I was telling them how I was frustrated with the give. I feel the last time I'd given the Movember prospectus, nobody said anything. It was like crickets chirping, and I was laughing. Well, Susan Kenny said she just got back from the International Ronald McDonald Conference where she met Rob Parker, their business development guy, and he's this big star in philanthropy. And so I said, can you get his number? How many houses are there? She said 165. And I said, I think we can do that. And so I submitted a prospectus with Corey's help. And 6 months later, I was at this meeting at the Roofing Alliance meeting where all these roofers raised their hands and they voted Ronald McDonald House their first ever nonprofit partner. Well, since then, you guys have seen me wear these socks every day for like over 2 years, I think. I don't even know. It was a year and a half, 6 months ago. It's probably over 2 years now. I have 27 pair. I've been wearing them every day. And we, in our company, have been pumping this thing. And all these companies from across the country, I've written to over 200 of them that have volunteered, they are watching what we're doing. And because of your example, because of these colorful t-shirts, last Thursday, the last Ronald McDonald House was adopted in Salt Lake City, Utah by Red Roofing. And I'm really proud of that because we have together. I couldn't do this if you guys weren't running things. But this right here is we are truly keeping families close, safe and dry, to their sick kids when they need it the most. Aaron knows what that means. And I know a lot of you know what that means. I don't know all of your stories with your children, but a lot of us have had sick kids. And this is a big deal. This also is a really remarkable story for Antis because this story will be there forever. It will help us as we grow. It's true. It's part of our passion. It's part of our path. There's industries that are listening to our story and they're changing what they're doing. And so what we're doing is really powerful. And we have, 6 or 8 things going on all the time. And by the way, Susan DeGrassi, she was the chair of the National Ronald McDonald House campaign for the first year and helped get this going. And thank you, Susan, for that. But we're doing amazing work, and I'm really happy, and I'm so proud of each of you. When I watch you guys up here interact like you do and say completely inappropriate things. And I wonder how somehow we get away with that. I have a feeling you probably will be talked to on that one. But I mean, I love our culture, and this is what every company deserves. And we know through Imperative Purpose, some of us have done some deep dives, especially these two. They know the facts a lot better than me, and they correct me. But over 2/3 of the people in the world go to work and they're tortured. Work is torture. It's not fulfilling at all. They can't wait to get home. But for us, we are really trying. We're not perfect. I make a ton of mistakes, but we are really trying to build the best place to work, and everybody's taking notice, and there's a trend, and we believe that by 2030, I think that's the date Imperative has, that we can flip that, and maybe 2/3 of the people can be fulfilled. And if we could do that, can you imagine? Last thing I'll say about these t-shirts, and I'll stop. Thanks to the way we branded this, if you watch what's happening in roofing today, people were giving stuff, like Karen said when she came into this thing, so I can't believe how big-hearted the roofing industry is. But they didn't know how to talk about it. But they're watching us. When I see all my news feed, all of these channels of social media coming in, I see roofing companies across the country with blue, red, pink, yellow t-shirts that have messaging on them. We are changing the way the roofing industry talks about itself, and other industries are watching. We are changing the world, so thank you guys. That's it. Thanks, Corey. Thank you, Corey.